cranky. Super cranky. Super cranky. Super cranky. Super cranky.
First off, I don't care what you people say. Never follow rules. I'm a trendsetter anyway. Okay, I march to the beat of my own drum. They say I need rules in my life. Well, I got some. That's one. Kill the competition. Two. Be a loyal dog. Three. And if they snitching on your man, send them to the morgue. Four. When you party, go hard till you hit the floor. Five. If you didn't see me do it, what the hell you asking for? Welcome to my world. SINA.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Llama Show. I'm the Big Llama. Thank you so much for joining me. It is Sunday night, the live stream. We are live. We are here. I'm back. Thank you, AD and the team, for filling in. But let's bring on AD, our co-host extraordinaire, Blackout AD. Happy Sunday night, my friend. How are you?
Are you nervous, dude?
Never.
You seem nervous.
Never. No, you know, I was trying to think of what to say.
Yeah.
Given the excellent performance of your stream last week,
dude. This is what I do.
I was trying to think of something clever, like how do I give him his praises and still cut him from underneath? But yeah, you guys fucking did your shit, man.
Listen. One thing I will never get right, and I always think about it at 7:55. I'm like, he never sent me the video of the opening. I don't know how he does it so cleanly. I'm always getting stuck. Like, so this time I went to like the YouTube thing and just like played the video. It was so cheesy. It was bad,
hey, man.
But also, I mean, shout out to Blackout. They held it down. I feel like a good episode. It was fun.
It was great. On my as I was driving home, I was listening to the entire episode. And it was fun. I was laughing. I was smiling. So it was entertaining as hell. So I was like, damn. And then, you know, I snuck in at the end there.
Oh, that was a good moment. I think that was a good like Big Llama Show moment, honestly.
It was kind of nice. And then you had Mama Llama sneak in there and give him
the kisses.
So it was actually a lot of fun. To hear it from the outside looking in, and then I was watching in the numbers, and I was like, oh man, he just keeps getting a couple more views, and I'm like, damn, this episode did really, really well. Like I'm like, you know, and I'm like, that's really great. That's the episode I wasn't on. So,
Hey man, what do you? I mean, I thought about it too, because like our numbers haven't been. I really think me not streaming as much kind of hurts the live show in a big way, because like I was streaming so much that throughout the week we were promoting it literally every day. People were watching every day, and then when the llama show came, like everybody knew the pre-llama show was going to go down, and then they would just watch the llama show. So I always think about that, but it was dope to see the views go up, like for an episode where it was just us like talking shit, like because honestly I had no plans. I told them like kind of what we were going to talk about, but I didn't have really any, and I kind of felt awkward during it. Like I was like, am I doing good? I haven't done this in a while. Like because again, like I haven't been streaming as much, but the reception was good, so thank you for letting us do that, man.
No, man, listen, that's what I'm saying. It's a partnership. It was fun. And like I said, I really, what that makes me do is just step up my game, right? Like I said, all right, so what do I do next show and make sure that
You came in nervous.
I did. Well,
Birdie had you shook.
The team had me shook. Well, I mean, you had the most handsome blackout member, right? Yeah. You had him. You had the, solid assassin Birdie.
Yeah.
And then there was Gabe. And
his terrible audio issues.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh no, but it was it was a whole lot of fun. And you guys did your thing, man. Yeah, I got to give you your props, man. You guys did your thing, and
appreciate that.
It was a great episode, and the podcast is up, and that's another thing too. What's really interesting about YouTube is they changed their format. So we can now identify items as podcasts, and now they're doing like they're promoting their own podcast type service. So every episode of the Big Llama Show, plus that one, is now under the podcast umbrella for YouTube. So if you're looking for podcasts, it'll be there as well. So that's pretty interesting too. So, all right, let's see what we got in the chats. Chat mom.
I'm guessing emojis.
I'm guessing they're emojis for sure. Either that or she fell asleep on her keyboard. Gabe's in the house.
Yo.
Yeah, Gabe and I had a nice little back and forth the other night.
Oh, I wanted to bring that up when we get to the end of the show.
We'll talk about that. That's a lot of fun. Let's see. AD Mike is perfectly lined up with the llama circle.
Oh, yo, it really is. That's great. I do this shit. What did I tell you guys?
This shit on purpose. Gabe says Blackout's going to show out every time.
I think so.
Ace is in the building. Welcome, Ace. All right, we're giving a shout out to Chat Mom.
Yep, always.
And it's the realest to you, Llama.
So let's talk about this real quick. Listen, he was talking spicy. I had like a 10-minute pre-Llama stream. It was more than like 20, but we were just like talking shit about music, and then he just kept talking about you and how he thought he did have you shook it the other night. And I was like, oh. Well, I was watching it back, and not really. More so like, and then he brought up Vanguard, how he 1v1'd you there. And you guys haven't played in this game, so I think we need a show match. We might need to do like a show match and then edit it for the Big Llama show.
I think so. I think
we might have to set that up, Gabe, if you're down.
Yeah.
Me and Herc will cast it. We'll do it right.
The thing is, Gabe takes this shit way too seriously. Like he gets emotionally invested.
Yeah, but you gotta understand. You're like, because he said that too. He's like, I get it. He does big man things. He's got a family. I get it. He doesn't play as much, but like sometimes he says something, and then he also called you, for lack of better terms, a Jay Birdie dick rider.
Oh shit!
I'm kidding. I put some sauce on that. He didn't really say that. But he did say, he was like, he does co-sign Birdie all the time, and like he was just going at you. So I was like, we got to set this up. Like I think it would be we could sell a good story on this one.
Oh, I think we could promo it like the John Jones.
And honestly, I think you guys might be like, I think he's better than you, but I think in any given game, I think one of you can win personally. And that might hurt his feelings. But you do some cheeky stuff sometimes, and sometimes he just runs and guns. And if you're laying down in the corner, you might kill him with the LMG. I don't know.
Yeah, my game is hit and miss, and I think I will concede that he may be a better gamer than me in that regard, but I have my moments, and when I have my moments, you better look out. Okay.
No.
So yeah, let's do
Oh,
this.
okay.
Let's set up the 1v1, maybe the best of 5 series or something. Something so that it's not just dumb luck that I won, right?
Yeah,
Or that
yeah.
I won the second one, or that I won the
Yeah,
third
yeah.
one, in a row. But no, I think
I
that'll
would
be
like
fun.
that. We'll have Big Papi Angie interview the winner and
There
the
you go.
loser at the end. Be our Joe Rogan.
Oh my God. Gabe says on the real tip, it's not personal. It's just content.
It's just content.
For sure. And listen, I have fun, man. I have fun with it. And you guys are family. So within family, we can talk shit. That's for sure. Chat mom with an update. She says Herc is here in spirit. He's a sleepy, sick guy. Oh,
get
no.
better, Herc.
Get better. Come on, the face of blackout.
The face of blackout? That hurts.
Llama, I'll deep fry you. No worries, Gabe. Oh, man.
I think it would be dope, though. We'll do like a hard point, a search and destroy, and then like a TDM tiebreaker.
There you go. And then we'll see what happens. You'll see who comes out in the end, and then that's it. We'll have interviews and we'll do it. And we'll let Gabe come on here and be silent on the show.
Yo, there was a point in time I was like, he really not saying anything for like 10 minutes.
But you did good, man. You had transitions, you had everything going. You guys were shooting the shit, and it was natural. So
it made me feel like I was like, yeah, you gotta do this more often especially in like, you did it mad random. You text me like what, Friday before the Sunday or something like that?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and I was like, oh wow, I gotta really have a good show. So I'm glad it did good from my perspective, but also don't do that again, dude. Ludacris not worth it. What the fuck?
Ludacris was great, man.
Stand up.
He played all the hits, man. But no, it was spur of the moment. Like I saw it on like Wednesday or Thursday, and we were talking about going, and we're like, all right, so we'll go. And then by Friday or whenever I text you, we had finally made the plans. Like we had talked about it, but we didn't like buy tickets. Yeah. And then we bought the tickets. We're like, all right, so this shit is real. And then I was trying to think of the timing. How can I do it? I was like, can I do it from the car? I'm like, no, I'll be driving. Like all this shit went through my head. And I was like, fuck it. Let me just call in sick. Hey, AD. It actually felt like I was calling in sick, like to work.
No, it feels like that. I think about that. Like I legit thought about it this week. I was like, yo, I mean, he did that last minute, but like if I wanted to like not do the show, like let's say I woke up one day, was like, I don't feel like doing it today. Like my energy's not there. I won't put in a good performance. Like it would feel like, yo, I'm sorry, but this is not the one, And I know you would understand, but also it kind of puts like both of us under a pressure of like where we're like, how, like for me, it's like how am I gonna run the show? What are we really gonna talk about? Am I bringing too many people on? And then Big Papi Angie came in, so I was glad that like everything worked out. I was like, cool. Now not that he didn't, because like I mean I've done episodes before, but all the other episodes were like pretty much pre-recorded. I think except for one. I think I might have did one other live show, but for the most part, I do a pre-recording and then I just play it during it, which is like the easier route. Or I give you the video, you play it before. But
yeah, or set it up for no. And that's what I said. I felt bad. I was like, oh shit. I said, but I never really call off of work technically, but it felt like I had to tell my boss. I was like, oh fuck, how do I tell him? What do I say? And I'm like, I'm going to Ludacris, and it was fun. I had a great time. Yeah, it's kind of nice to go and do that for like a hot second, just kind of throw caution to the wind, and so it was fun. I don't want to miss somebody here. Diogiri, I want to say is how you say it. I don't know. It says, how are you? And was shouting us out. So, hey, how you doing? Jay Birdie is in the building. My the guy whose dick I ride, as you say.
Yeah, that was me. That was me. I said that.
I'm a fan. That's all. I'm a fan.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan. Oh shit, what was I gonna say? So this week is weird. Like I ran out of time. I really, because I'm working now and I'm trying to figure everything out. Um, it's kind of weird how trying to get everything going, but whatever, man. Whatever. We're here. um, let's see. All right, so we had the fight night yesterday,
Yeah, we did.
which was great.
I think so.
I think that was amazing. And this is one of the few fight nights that I watched from the prelims, for the majority of the prelims, all the way to the.
Yeah,
the
you started
thing.
watching the fights before I did.
Yeah, oh no, I was watching. So here's the thing: my son's like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna host it." That's what he's telling me. I'm gonna host it here at the house. I'm like, "Oh shit!" So we gotta pay for it. And I said, "No, you know what? You're gonna go to Discord and you're gonna go join the Discord with us and watch the fight." And he just looked at me like odd. So this is one of the few ones that we went and paid for. And he had his friends over. We bought food and shit. So from 5:00, he's like, "Hey, we got to start watching." I'm like, "Wait, they don't come out until 10. It's 5:30. They start." So I was watching fights all, like for 4 hours. I just sitting on the couch watching fights and talking shit. And it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun, and it kind of got me hyped for the main events, and the main card. So yeah, man. So let's talk about the UFC fight, man.
Card.
I mean.
I didn't watch as much as you did, but I did watch from the main card. Actually, I watched some of the prelims because of Derek Brunson and the Dracus Duplessis guy. I think that guy's nasty, and the way they threw in the towel. Not basically, they did throw in the towel for Derek Brunson. There was some shots after where like kind of looked iffy, like the ref should have stopped it, maybe like 1 or 2 punches earlier, but in the fight game, it's kind of hard to like tell, you know what I mean? Like, especially with a guy like Derek Brunson, who's known for being tough. But man, I think the card overall, the energy was dope. I think, I'm one of the people that like I watch everything for like weeks out. That I'm picking up the story. I'm like going through of like what the card's about, who's fighting on the card. If I haven't heard of somebody, I'm kind of like looking them up, like seeing what their personality's like. But this card felt big as hell. Like I know it was John Jones' return, and like normally and traditionally they say that he doesn't really sell out things, and I think like UFC kind of like made it a point to like change that narrative, especially now that he's at heavyweight. But I mean, people at work were talking about it. Like the energy around the card was crazy. So like actually seeing it play out and like having good fights. I think Jeff Neal and I forgot the guy's name, but. And the other guy won. I just like Jeff Neal, but I think that fight, I think it won fight of the night. And I think even though Jeff Neal missed weight, they gave him the $50K because he was like, "Yo, you put on a hell of a fight. Like, there's no way we're not giving you the bonus for that." I mean, the card was amazing. And then John Jones, what he did, like I was kind of like going for Cyril because everybody was going for John, so I was like, I'll be the guy that says otherwise.
I was wondering why you were going that way.
No, I mean I do.
John Jones.
Yeah, I do like John Jones, and I do like Cyril. Like, I enjoy Cyril's fighting style, so I just wanted to see him do good. But I really wanted to see a war. And that was one thing a big homie asked me. He was like, "Yo, do you feel like the fight was like," or like he said he watched it and it was like felt disappointed in the fight. Like, he wanted more out of the fight, and he thought Cyril kind of like just took the L. You know what I mean? Like, laid down and was like, I can't beat this guy, which I do think there's like a degree of like something. It was weird to start, to be honest. I think John Jones, this is my personal opinion. Obviously John Jones won in like 2 minutes. It was pure dominance. This guy comes and wins the heavyweight belt in 2 minutes after a 3-year layoff and gaining like weight. And people were talking shit about his physique and shit, but clearly he shows you like he's that guy. And also he came prepared. Like, yeah, this was a very scary John, because I don't think like on the stand up, and like Birdie was saying, it was only 45 seconds on the feet, so you can't really like judge it. But to me personally, I do think he looked slower, especially like with Gon moving next to him. You could tell like Gon was a little bit faster, and John did swing a couple times and like look like iffy, and then he took him down, and then Gon has 0 ground game, and then against John Jones, he just put the finish on him. And I think honestly, John was known, especially before this fight, and I haven't talked to anybody about this, so I'm glad I thought about it live. But John was known for like fighting people at their game. He's like, if you're a stand-up guy, he's fighting you on the feet. If you're a wrestler, he's wrestling you just to prove you're better. But I think now that I'm actually like analyzing it, I do think maybe there was a little bit of like, I might not be able to get this guy on the feet, so let me put him away as fast as possible. Because as soon as he got on the ground, he didn't elbow him once, he didn't punch him once, he went straight for the guillotine to finish it. So now that I'm like actually analyzing, maybe there was like a little bit of like John, like I know I could put him away here, and let me do it as fast as possible.
Yeah. And there's a maturity to that. Like early on in your career, flash, you want to prove yourself. Now it's like you get older, it's longevity. It's like, hey, can I finish the match? What do I need to do? I think the opportunity, the way I saw it, the opportunity just presented itself rather quickly. I think he was fucking shocked. I think he was like, wait, what? And then, and because you saw for a moment, he's like, I think I have it. And then he sunk it in and it was like, all right, it's over. So it was really, again, maybe it's him maturing. Maybe it was just the opportunity. It just seemed like he felt it at that moment. Like I can shut this down and let's get out of here. And I think that's a smart move on his part. But I mean,
the way he celebrated as well. But go ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I mean, but the other thing too is, and I get Big Homie's point, which is like, look, you paid for this big match. Like it used to be that way with the Tyson fights. You know, you wait all night till 1 o'clock in the morning for Tyson to show up, and within 35 seconds to 45 seconds, he knocks the dude out like cold, right? And it's like, but that's fighting, that's boxing, that's MMA. That's how it works. A guy walks into an uppercut, you can't help that. Like that's just the way it is. But I didn't feel that way. I was more shocked than anything, and I think because I had watched so much leading up to it. I think if I had just watched it started at 10 and watched it, I think I would be disappointed when I watched the John Jones. But I was like, fuck. I had seen this now for hours, and I was feeling good. And I said, okay, this is a big fight. It had a big fight feel, obviously, but damn. It was over quick, and I think my reaction was like, "What?"
No, that was my reaction too. And like,
it
was funny because you had Rob, Birdie. Well, I mean, we had a packed house. I think we had like 18 or 19 in the Discord at the time.
Yeah, you had a lot of people in there.
They were like, as soon as it was over, like, because I was picking Gon obviously the whole way. They were like, "Yo, like, you see that? Oh, you really thought he had a chance?" Like, they were like going at me, and I was kind of like, too in the moment, like. Yo, he really just came in and shut the lights. Because you got to think, like, and this is something I was talking to Birdie about, but it was like, Gon got placed in this position because he is faster than a lot of heavyweights, and his stand-up is better than a lot of heavyweights. And Gon was, I mean, Birdie said he was like, which is, I think is a good point, but he beat a lot of guys that were just lesser versions of himself. So he was just more superior. But also the circumstance of the division. You have Stipe, the greatest of all time at heavyweight, gets beat by Francis. Francis then beats this guy, Gon. After Gon like gets his way to the top, and he only did it in like I think like 6 fights, like super short. And because they were teammates, there was a good storyline they could sell. And Francis beats the guy with wrestling. So there was like questions of that, like Francis did, and he's not known to be good at wrestling, and he had a bad knee. So there was like things like that. And then John comes and does this. And the guy just got positioned because of the like landscape of the division. Like the guy just leaves the company, vacates the belt, and now you get to fight for the belt again. But you have to fight the light heavyweight GOAT who just gained, who technically was heavier than you at the weigh-ins. And he finishes you in fucking 2 minutes. Like, I don't know. To me, I was in awe. I was like, this guy's good. Like, I always loved him. But also the out of like fight shit kind of just annoys me. It's like, bro, like control it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you're literally, if you didn't have all these blemishes on your record, you'd be renowned as the greatest.
Right.
And it's gonna happen now because he's the heavyweight champion. And if he defends it against Stipe, who is the GOAT, what can he really say? You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this, man. Shout out to the guy who cut the promos because I was thinking Gon was going to be somebody that you can't fuck with. Like the way the promo was cut, I was like, can John Jones even beat this guy? Like, and again, they did a great job of hyping up both sides of the match, but they really sold it to me. And when you were saying you were going for him, I was like, oh, maybe there's obviously a great chance. And yeah, look, the whole body thing, the way John Jones looked, and Chat Mom had a good point. It cracks me up that people at home have the nerve to talk about a pro fighter's body as if it matters in a fight, as if they're anywhere near as athletic. I was thinking about Tank Abbott and Butter Bean and all these dudes that were, big fat guys, right? Like, but had power and had skills. I didn't think. He didn't look like he used to. He wasn't shredded, right? But
yeah,
shit, underneath there is the muscle and is the muscle memory and is the skills. So again, I just think the other Gon looked just like a specimen, right? You looked like the prototypical, like he had the muscles, he had everything, and I almost got sold on that. I was like, shit, he might do it. He might just beat this guy,
but,
and then again, credit to the promos and shit,
but I do think like if it stayed on the feet a little longer, I think he would have gave John a little bit of problems, and I think eventually John would have done it. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the past John, the John that beat every legend, like me watching the sport from like where I started, there was just a bunch of legends in the light heavyweight division. That was the division, and he beat every single one before he got to the championship, and then after defending his belt against legends of the game that are like Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, and he beat them at their own game. So to see him like kind of shoot early, I don't know. I'm excited to see now he's going to train for Stipe, and like that seems like the fight that, because he called him out, and you kind of knew it was going to be there. That's the thing. Gon got this off of luck again by the landscape of the division, because for 3 years they've been trying to get, and Dana White said it, he was like, we're not going to try to make the Francis fight ever again, because for 3 years we tried to get this fight and he didn't want it. And John was about, like, they make it very clear John was about to fight. He was like, I'll fight anybody, whoever it is. And that just shows the confidence he has. But for 3 years they tried to get the Francis fight, didn't go through. Then the Stipe fight, I think, was like weird timing. And Stipe was like, yo, I need a little bit more time if I'm going to come back for the belt against this guy. And I think he also wanted to put on weight. I think that was like something that they were talking about. So that kind of felt good. And then it was like, well, Gon's kind of beating everybody. He beat Derek Lewis. He beat Tai Tuivasa. These are fan favorites. He beat Derek Lewis in Houston to win the interim. Like, let's just give this guy the fight, and then John gets his belt and whatever. I think that's how they looked at it. And John was very dismissive of Gon the whole time. And that's why I was kind of like, he's too dismissive. And I was saying it in the fight night, like, think about it. They had to cut tape off his toe, and that took longer than the fight.
Right. Well, you had me scared because you kept saying he's not locked in. He's not keyed in.
That's what I was. I was wrong. Yeah, that was crazy.
No,
I'm never wrong.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you were saying that, and I was like, okay, you've seen him in action more than I have. I was like, maybe he isn't, and it seemed he was. It seemed he was distracted a little bit on his intro and everything else. And then with the tape thing, I was like, oh, this is just a tale of things that can go wrong in a
before
match.
A fight.
Before a fight.
And then think about it, he gets kicked in the dick.
Right away.
Literally,
right away.
7 seconds in the fight, gets kicked in the dick. Like, yo, like, what's going on? Like, it was like scripted, like Gon was going to knock him out with the uppercut, like I kept calling. And he didn't even throw one, dude. I'm telling you, he would throw an uppercut when he went for the lights out, but he.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. That was weird because that never happens.
Right.
Like in a UFC fight, like think about how many fight cards we had. Nobody ever like had that much like distraction before going into the cage.
Yeah, it's usually a pretty much a beeline
seamless.
To get checked in, and then
once they get their hands checked, their hair padded and their mouth guard checked, they're in the ring, and then it's about to start. Yeah, so that was weird on its own, but I mean, look at the moment, like it's kind of memorable. Like he had all this against him, and then he just comes finish the guy. But I don't know. It creates hope for the heavyweight division because it's been in kind of not shambles, but like up in the air for so long. Now he's here, like, and supposedly he signed like an 8-fight deal.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, I mean, listen, I know I'd be interested, I think, to look up the pay-per-view buy rate on his fight because I think it was huge. Like
No, it
even
was.
even for me, who I'd never bought, and I don't typically buy the pay-per-view, but I kept getting advertising after advertising about hosting it, about doing like there was so much being pumped out for this fight that I can like the fact that I was gonna watch it because of obviously we do the fight nights and so I'm like okay I'm gonna but there was just so much hype going into it, so much money pumped into it. I
Yeah.
wonder if that affected the buy rate. So
No, it did.
it'd be interested. Yeah.
Dana White did come. I don't know the exact numbers. I should have paid attention, but he did come out and say like it was a huge like there was a huge number. So I'm sure it'll come out within if it hasn't already come out this week, and then we'll know. But I mean, like I said, people were talking about it for weeks beforehand,
Yeah.
and we were talking about it. Like I
Yeah.
know
Oh,
me and
yeah.
Bird have been talking about John Jones coming back for literally a year, like of just every day, like what's it gonna be like? Who is he gonna fight? Like every day we would have some new topic about him coming back. Like what weight would he be in? Like even before we were like he's coming in at like 255. Like we were like speculating
Yeah.
crazy shit because we just kept talking about it. It was like, what are we gonna get? But double overtime with the Celtics. Oh, that's crazy because the Knicks are on a win streak right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
In like 8 or 9 games.
Birdie, keep us posted, man. Let us know. Yeah. He says, Gabe says here, went in, handled business, came out as the heavyweight champ. No, that's it. That's it.
I mean,
John
yeah,
didn't go in there to get into a war, just wanted to win. And that's
But-
okay.
You brought up a great point. It could just be the maturity and like him being like, I don't need a fight. I don't need to prove anything. I just need to win. And
Yeah.
that's understandable.
I mean, listen, man. I know athletes as they get older, and I've seen it. Like you can see it in their regiments and stuff. They are trying to maximize the amount of time to earn, and so sometimes if you do mature in a sport, you figure out what's the easiest way to accomplish the same task, or what work do I need to put in before that task so I can be as good as I was, because it takes a long time. So I hope it's a maturity on his part, because yeah, man, if you go in there and you have the hold sunk in and you go, nah, I want to pound this guy. That's the dumbest thing you can do, especially in a sport like that, because anything can get you. But again, we'll see with this next match, right? We'll see with the next fight if he, if he learns the lessons, or he figures out, or maybe he's doing more studying. I mean, again, he's had a troubled past, right? Like he's, I mean, he's a good.
Dana White said, he's like, yo, I told him we need to get a charger for him immediately because we need to get him back home. Like he can, like we don't want him to stay the night in Las Vegas because every time something happens, like the latest time there was like family issues and stuff, which I also thought was weird. He had like a new fiance, was just flaunting her on stage. I thought that was kind of weird, but like it also just felt like he was excited to feel the moment of being the champion. Like he was like really living in it. And also, I thought it was funny because I kept saying, like, he's just a corny guy, though. Like, everybody's been talking about how Michael B. Jordan's corny in like hip hop. Like, that's like a huge topic lately. But like, John Jones really a corny guy. Like, he comes in like, can I get all? Yeah. Like, who does that? Like, and then what solidified it for me was when you were like, I really like this guy before he started talking. And I was like, that's a casual perspective.
And it's true because honestly, I've heard of him. I've seen some of his matches. He's big, right? And I know that, but I've never really heard him talk, or I've never really, he wasn't memorable to me in that way. So like seeing the highlights, seeing everything, I'm like, this is a bad motherfucker right here. I like this guy. And then he opens his mouth and I'm like, wait a second. This is not what I expected. I was expecting like Rampage. That's a bad man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was expecting that something into that equivalent to come out. And when he was like, hey guys, I'm like, oh dear God.
Yeah, he was going crazy. I mean, he deserves it though. So shout out to him. I'm excited to see like what the heavyweight turns out, the division as a whole turns out, because he's there now. Like
yeah.
How many fights will he have? How dominant is he going to be? Because another thing is like his age range is like the prime for like heavyweights. So he could realistically fight till he's like 40, 45 if like he really wants to. I don't know if he will, but I'm just saying like He really
Yeah.
wants it. You could fight late. Like we seen Glover Teixeira fighting pretty late. I think he's like 42, 43. So it's like we're starting to see that now that like the technology is like helping the athletes a little bit more last longer and whatever. But
Yeah, I think Liddell, Ortiz, all those guys, they fought late into their years.
yeah, but they
as a
weren't.
heavyweight.
They were also never really like they got to a point where they were just like okay.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, but they were able to maintain something at that level. But yeah, man, what a fight card, and it was fun, man. And then you got a little compliment. I saw I actually saw what you sent me earlier.
Yeah,
because I think when they put something on Discord, it alerts everybody.
oh, yeah.
So that was awesome. Who do you know that person?
I
or is
have
that
no
just,
clue, but
oh,
it was dope because I made it a point to like have the fight night. So I was like, yo, like, and I've been trying to. I mean, last fight card they had, we had Tangeray do the stream and stuff. That was the first time. That was like me. That was like you letting us do the Llama show last week. That was like me letting Tangeray do the fight. And I was like, you got this, bro. Like, can I trust you to get this done? You just got to sit here. And that's it. And if anything goes wrong, this is how you fix it. But I mean, I got a lot of people, like 100 people in there, and they all came through fights. So it's dope because when you see like a big fight card, you see the numbers like go up pretty quick. Like people get there early sometimes, and like some people like engage in conversation. Some people don't. They're just there to watch it. But I'm glad we could actually provide that. And then like also the stream did good. Like it was like 70 something views and like got to like 7 viewers or whatever. While we had like 18 in the Discord.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, it was dope,
and it
man.
was great. It's great. Some comments here. Birdie says Gone not ranked pound for pound, by the way, AD.
Interesting.
And it's Birdie asked, will John be number 1 pound for pound?
No, but he'll definitely be. That's what I was thinking. If Gon was in there, I think he would take Gon's place. But I think, I don't know, the way he dominated, he might be like top 3. I don't think you can really like discredit Volk right now. Yeah, see. But I don't think you could discredit Volk and Islam. So it's
yeah.
Number 2 at worst.
Number 2. I mean, and is that a big deal? Like that ranking, or is that more?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's like an ego thing, but like me and Birdie talk about the rankings like constantly. Like, because they're always shifting. Like, and I mean, pound for pound is like you're the best fighter in that organization. You know what I mean? Like, and the UFC is like regarded as like the MLB, the NBA of mixed martial arts right now. So
oh yeah.
They have the best prospects. Like, yeah.
So, any other fights that night?
The Shevchenko fight, which I did call the other girl Grasso winning. She's like the 3rd Mexican, which is crazy.
Yes.
Which was crazy because now they have 3 Mexican-born champions this year. Like this year already. So that's kind of dope.
She was great. She was good in the match, and it was crazy how fast she's.
Oh, when she got the back, she got the back and got the hooks in super fast, like 0.8 seconds. Like literally, the opportunity was there, and I think she said she trained it, like because that's one thing, and you seen it early in the fight. Which if she did train it, like Valentina, like went at her kind of the worst tactics because they were saying like she trained the spinning attacks and like trying to maneuver because Grasso's traditionally known as like a boxer, but she has good like submission. She has like a couple submissions that I seen like were like, oh wow, she's really good on the floor. So in my head, I was thinking she was gonna piece her up because Valentina, like she's more of a like a Muay Thai style fighter. So I was like, he'll probably stay on the feet, but Grasso will like piece her up and maybe like ground and pound finisher or whatever. But in the back of my mind, I was like, there's definitely like a chance of Grasso really submitting her because I kept seeing like the highlights. And I mean, you saw the opportunity. Valentina was showing the spins early. She took the opportunity and finished her and put the choke in like pretty quickly. And there was like a moment where like she got the hand behind the head and like you could tell like she knew in her head, like she like relaxed a little bit and was like, oh yeah, this is my fight to lose, basically.
Yeah.
And put the choke in and finished her. And I mean, people were saying it though with Valentina because she was like on a 9 I think like defending her title 9 times in a row or something. And last time, this is why I also thought she was gonna lose, because last time she against this girl named Talia Santos, I believe, but she won in decision, and like you could say the other girl won. Like
Yeah.
she had more ground control time. Like we watched it on the fight night, and like it was very close. And I was like, from that night on, I was like, oh yeah, she's losing this belt soon. I just didn't know it was gonna be this time. But what was your perspective on it?
Well, it's hard to keep and maintain, like, you know, when you're on top, there's the pressure, right? But in this match, in this fight, like she was ahead. I mean, I think she was ahead and she was doing well. I think let her guard down. She had that, it was a shitty, sloppy turnaround that she did. It wasn't even, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even with, like, you know, when somebody does that move, it's with purpose. Like they move quick, right? It kind of felt like she was just kind of going through the motion, see if she could get something out of it. And fuck, she got like, that's all I can say. She got, and it was fast, it was quick, and it was over. And you know, again, I didn't have a pick for either one. I was just and I had said it a couple times, you didn't believe me, but she does fight out of Peru. She's a Russian that lives in Peru. So that's my only thing. I was like, okay, I'll go with the Peruvian.
You really just kept saying that. I was like,
yeah, it's true though. I watched the promos. The promos told me these things. I did AD research. No, sometimes that's all I have, right? Like, you know, I said, oh well, that's all I know, and I'm gonna go with my girl from Peru, even though she's Russian. But yeah, no, I think it just seemed like it was an opportune time for her, and shit, she Grasso capitalized, and that's great. I mean, and it was great. It was good, and I would tell you, man, like the I have to agree with Chat Mom. Those Mexican fighters are scrappy, man. They're
always boxing historically. Yep.
Yeah. They have a way of just, you know, hanging in there long enough to just, you know, take opportunities and make them happen. Birdie says here, I don't think you can put these are comments,
John Jones,
yeah, ahead of Volk or Islam.
No, I mean, because Volk's been doing it, and like because Volk is number 1 pound for pound, even though he lost to Islam. But the performance he put going up in weight against somebody as dominant, who is pound for pound number 2 in the world, like you kind of can't disregard that. So yeah, I agree with Bird. Like you can't put John above them, but if he wins against Stipe, like I could see that changing. And I mean, if he keeps winning, I can see that changing. Just because his resume, he has the best resume, and that's one thing that, like, when they talk about, like, he ended the interview. I know we back to Jones, but we ended the interview, and he was like, "Bah," like as like the GOAT thing, and I was like, again, he's corny, but you can't argue it because his resume is better than anybody's, and I don't think there will be somebody who has that resume. Like he's beaten literally everybody to like whoever they thought was that good, he beat on the way up to where he is now.
Yeah. No, listen, man. I like guys who will call themselves the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like that takes some balls. To, you know, most guys are humble. They go, oh, you know, yeah, I've done a good job. You know, this guy just made the noise and like called himself out. I love that. I love that shit. That shit is great because then like that pisses off anybody in that, you know, like if you're a competitor and you hear a guy calling himself the GOAT, you'd be like, I want to crush this guy.
Yeah.
But when he said it, I was like, I'm not mad. I'm not. It is corny, but I ain't mad at it. So, yeah, man. So it was a good fight night, man. It was a great fight night. Lots of interaction, lots of people in the Discord. I think it only gets better. Like I think Gabe had said something like that. The fight companion has definitely come a long way, to say the least. I think so too. I think it's something that people look forward to now. It's like, oh, there's a fight. We're all jumping on the Discord. Let's go. We're all watching this together, and so it is a lot of fun. I'm gonna actually try to take and schedule watch-alongs on Discord. So I'm gonna start to flex a little bit on Discord to see if I can use that, because I think that's the part that builds community, right? That people are just kind of together and talking shit. And I as crazy as some of the characters are in the Discord, Pablo and these guys, we focus on the fight, man, and it's fun. It's just fun and exciting.
Yeah,
And
even though yesterday was like I had to be a little bit like, yo, guys, chill out. I'm trying to listen. I was like, I'm trying to get locked in. I kept saying it too. I was like, we gonna lock in this fight or what?
Well, what's funny is like I think Herc and I went on a tangent, just having fun with the it was about the match. Yeah. And then Pablito would just jump in. Hey, Brady, shut the fuck up, and we're like, oh, come on, man, like we're not going there.
Yeah.
But
there was a moment I think Gabe and Birdie were having like their separate conversations that had nothing to do with the fight. They were just talking between each other, and I was just like, "Yo, what's good? Like, what are we doing right now?"
Yeah, we locked in, and I started the night off muting Birdie, so I don't
get a great joke.
I missed the Deli Llama. I missed that one.
I was like, wow, he's really not going to acknowledge that at all.
And it was weird because I was like, I didn't hear anything. Oh my God. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I'll tell you a funny story. Like and this is funny because you guys talk shit that I'm, riding Birdie. I almost bought a Jeep today.
Oh my God.
I would have been the Birdie clone.
Bro, I would have died. You would have bought the Jeep and they had the shirt on.
The black shirt.
I would have been dead. I was like, this guy really becoming Birdie with the Knicks hat or like a Yankee fitted.
That's all I need is my Knicks hat. You know what? I'm gonna move my computer to the garage, and when I start doing my show out of the garage, then you'll know I've turned. No, I went and bought a car today, and I test drove a Jeep, like a nice Jeep, like Birdie had, and it's just too much fucking work, so I said no to the Jeep. Like there's all this shit you have to do, like to take the top off and something like.
That's why he only does it. Like he'll be like, this is one of those days that he'll like do it, but otherwise he's not doing it.
Yeah, no, man, it's just too much work, man. It's nice. It was nice. It was nice to drive it, and I sometime in the future I'm going to get one, but nah, it wasn't practical. So.
Almost like he just got a new job. He's like, I want to buy a car.
I needed a car. Like my old job gave me a car as part of I had a car through them, and like they're like, all right, see you, and they took the car with them. So
did somebody come and pick it up? Like, hey, drop him up.
I had to drop off the car, man. That was the saddest day. It was like. Here you go, man.
Every step you take.
Yeah, exactly. I was walking away from it going, it's so hard. No, so yeah, I had to buy one. I've been using my mother-in-law's car for the last month and a half, and she's very nice and let me drive it. But I was like, yeah, I gotta get my own shit. So I had a chance. I had a chance to get the Jeep, but I didn't.
That's hilarious.
Oh, let's see.
Also very concerning.
What did I almost buy a Jeep?
Yeah, you really following this guy's path, huh?
I've always wanted a Jeep.
You thought about him too. You're like, Bird has a Jeep. We could do the Jeep wave to each other.
We could be Jeep brothers.
You know the Jeep wave? You ever seen that? You just in a Jeep with somebody and they're like, no, it's a Jeep thing. Don't worry about it. It's like a cult, bro.
We can park and put our tires on top of each other. I've seen that.
You're taking it further than I thought.
Chatbot says Herc hates Jeeps so much he gets irrationally angry. What?
I hate Jeep guys. They won't tell him what the handshake is. He's so mad.
Oh my God. No, man. So I before I met Birdie and even knew that he had a Jeep, I've always wanted one. It's
all good, dude. But you don't have to explain yourself.
I know I need to explain that way.
I'm just gonna make fun of it later.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to let you guys know. So yeah, I bought a car today, and that was like my whole day. That's why I couldn't see the movie Creed. So we were gonna talk Creed tonight if we both got to see it. But
I didn't see it because you saw it. I'm gonna be honest. I texted you. I was like, if he says no,
yeah.
I'm not going.
No, and listen, I was thinking of like this weekend was crazy, right? Only I wasn't planning on buying the car this weekend. I kind of wasn't sure when I was going to do it, but like I'm like, when else am I going to have time? Next week I got a wedding on Saturday, and I got another like wedding reception for a friend like in the afternoon on Sunday. So I'm like, next weekend is like shot. I can't do shit. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to go today, and got in and out, which was good, but yeah, I almost bought the Jeep, man. Fuck.
Oh, good. You're gonna have to live with this, not me.
This is what Hercules says. He says, "Oh, this fucking guy in his Jeep." And Chad Mom says, "Team Land Cruiser over here." All right. Nah, man, it's
Is that your dream car?
what, the Jeep?
Yeah.
I've always wanted one. Because I'd like the fact that you can take the top off and just ride with it.
You like the titties out?
I like the titties out. So, but like I said, I've only driven in one like a couple times. The one guy I knew in high school, he had a Jeep and I fucking wanted it so bad. And then it's been just like, okay, I want what I want. But every time I have a job, it's literally 100 miles away. So like, I need an economical car. I need a small car, that kind of thing. So now I work literally 6 miles from my house, and it's like, I can get any car I want right now, and it doesn't fucking matter. So,
so you didn't get it,
but I didn't get it, man.
It's
I
all
made
good.
this. And listen, I'm happy with what I got. So
you should just get an old one just to have the feeling of it, but also not the commitment. You know,
I think that's what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna try to find somebody who's selling like a shitty one for like $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, some shit like that, and then fix it up and work on it. But dope. Like to put in big money into it, it was like, no,
because you also live by the beach, so it's like it would be dope to have it. You know, like I get it.
My kid.
Go ahead. No.
I just said my kids got into the car. Like we got in the car and we're driving it, and the fucking my son, he's like, I feel like we're going to Jurassic Park. I'm like, fuck you.
Don't ruin this fucking moment.
He's fucking ruined it. Old Jeeps are actually cool as hell, 1990 square style. Go mudding. No door, more horse. You know what's funny? My wife is like, she's like, listen, you can get a Jeep, it's fine, but we're not doing those fucking Jeep car club shits. We're not going to meetings where they all hang out, and we're not going to meetups and shit. I'm like, I know. I'm not trying to do that. But anyway. But yeah, no. This weekend, it was crazy. So Creed comes out. I wanted to go see it in IMAX. I didn't buy the tickets because I couldn't coordinate with my sons. So one was working, and then he had a baseball game on Saturday, the other one. So I'm like, all right, we'll figure it out. And then they re-released that RRR movie in the theaters. And I was like, shit, I want to see that too. But that's the 3-hour commitment minimum. I'm like, I am not going to get to do anything this weekend. And sure enough, I didn't do shit. I went to the baseball game. I bought a car, and that's my weekend. So, let's see. What the question here from Chat Mom? What'd you name your new car, Llama? I haven't figured it out yet.
Do you do that?
My wife has named all the cars, and usually I have a nickname for my car, but I don't like this is my car name. But like it just depends.
My mom used to do that, and I was like, "Am I weird for not wanting?" Like, I never named a car ever.
It depends on if the car is unique. Like if it's a unique looking car, yeah, you should fucking name it. But like if it's a general, like if it's an Accord,
I've had some unique cars.
Well, you should have a name, right?
But they don't. Am I weird?
No, you're not.
I'm self-conscious now.
No, you're not weird.
We go talk to my therapist. Be like, "Yo, so I don't name my cars. Is that a commitment issue on my part, or
it might be? You don't want.
No, but I've had so many cars that it's like it could be.
Yeah, no. I when I was young, I used to have a car because my dad was the car salesman. I used to have a trade-in that he would find, and so I'd have a car every 6 months. because what I didn't know at the time was he wasn't paying the notes on them, and that's how come we kept switching them out. So, I didn't know that. I just thought he just worked at the dealership, and
I like how you like prefaced it with he worked at the dealership, and then was like, no, actually, this is what I really found out.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, man. All right, so her first car was the 1988 Toyota 4Runner, and he named her the Beast.
What was your first car?
Shit, my first car was a 1981 Toyota Corolla. It had fucking carpet on the dash. had brown carpet on the dash. That bitch was boxy as hell. And it was great. It was great until I burnt the engine out because I took it to a friend to do an oil change, and he forgot to put the plug back in all the way.
Damn.
All the oil drained out, and I was on the highway, and guy pulls up next to me and like yelling, "Your car's on fire!"
Oh my
I'm
god!
like, yeah. What's up? Like I don't.
You heard that new Uncle Luke tape too?
I'm banging. I got speakers in the trunk. I got my shit jamming. I'm like, yeah. We're on fire. Yeah, let's go. And then, but yeah, I saw sparks in my rear view. Pulled over. Turns out my whole bottom of the engine had popped right off. Yeah, it was without oil for a while.
Wow. All right. Nice. I'm glad you grew up, Llama, because he would have died.
Yeah, it's good. It's the car right after that, again, because my dad found these cars, was a 1984 Camry with the windows that couldn't roll down. Like if you rolled them down, they just fell straight through the door. And I had rust at the bottom, so I can see the floor. I can see the ground. Fred Flintstone type car. And I had
You sure that wasn't just because you're old?
No.
My bad.
And I had a clothes hanger holding up the muffler in the middle of the car because that shit had split off. So needless to say, that car was fucking dangerous.
Not as good, man. Look at you driving.
No,
Almost bought a Jeep, but didn't.
Exactly.
Hey, that's
younger me would have bought that fucking Jeep in a second.
Yeah.
Chapman
forgot to put oil.
Yeah, I put oil in it. It just all leaked out. I can't help it. My uncle has a truck called the Prostitute. It has fuzz red dash. Oh my god! And the orangutan is the huge monster truck I used to have to jump out of when I drove it. The orangutan.
The orangutan's crazy.
Oh my god. Funsky was saying, I need to watch RRR in the theaters. You'll love it. Non-Indian people screaming and cheering. No, I wanted to, and that's why. And my issue is that I just couldn't fit 2 movies in a weekend, and I hope it's still out next weekend because I'll check it out. But no, next weekend I got the fucking wedding, so no, I won't check it out.
Oh, wedding? You gonna be on the show?
Oh yeah, I'll be on the show. That's not a problem. And then the chat mom says, Llama, why are we car twins? The Beast exhaust had a hole so huge. I started the car, drove it off. All the car alarms to go off down the street. No, man, I had some shitty ass cars, man. And again, not knowing that my dad just wasn't paying the notes on these cars. So I had a car every 6 months. Dad, where'd the car go? Never mind that, son. Take this one. Dude, the worst one, and I know we're just trading car stories, but the worst one, I had again, high school me, a Nissan Pathfinder. It's in the songs, it's in the rap songs, and everything you ever heard. Got to have a Pathfinder. I get a fucking Pathfinder. It has 1 seat in it. My seat, which is the driver's seat.
That's it. Nothing
the
else?
rest of this shit was gutted. It was gutted. Like it was just. Now the outside looked really nice. I was like fucking rolling. I was like, yeah, look at me. I'm in
You're
my
just not
Pathfinder.
creative, Llama. I would have had that. I would have had it feng shuied out. There's mad comforters around, little pillows under. You know what I mean? Like, listen, don't worry about this.
listen. Here's my luck, right?
Especially back in your day.
Listen, no, I'm telling you, this was a black Pathfinder. It was nice. Nothing in the inside except for one seat and a radio. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna fix this up. And I was working at Aventura Mall. I was working at Champs. And fucking, I'm on my way to work one day, and this fucking old ass man in a brand new car puts me into a telephone pole. The car wraps around the fucking telephone pole, and car was fucking totaled at that point. And
you just have bad luck with cars.
I do, man. I did.
Oh man.
And so yeah, that's again, that's I am appreciative that I can go buy a car right now, but I've had some fucking stories.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Exactly, man. I've been to the depths, man. I've been to the poorest of the poor, man. So fuck it. I try to tell my kids appreciate shit, but they don't. They're spoiled.
They will one day.
I hope so. But yeah, man, that's why I enjoy things, man. That's why I like to do things, just because back in the day you couldn't do that shit.
Yeah.
What about you? So what was your first car?
Mitsubishi Eclipse 97.
I had one of those too.
But mine was cool because my stepdad painted cars, and all he does is like his hobby is flipping cars. Like he'll find a car, like paint it, whatever it needs to be done, motor work, whatever, and then he'll just sell it. That's just his like fun time. He's like, when he wants to be, he's like, I want to have fun today. That's what he's gonna do. Yeah. But I was like, I think he went to go like check somebody's car out, like one of his old homies. Check the car, whatever. And then I seen it. It was just sitting in the backyard under like some, like, it was wrapped. I was like, what's that? He's like, oh yeah, it's Mitsubishi Eclipse. Like pulls it, like my son wanted to fix it up and just left it here. And it's just like dirty as fuck. I was like, I like that. And then plus like Fast and the Furious 1. You know what I mean? Like the green Mitsubishi Eclipse. I was like, yo, I want that. And I was like 14 or 15. And he was like, I guess I don't know what he did because he had to paint the guy's car. And then one day he had that car. So I was like, I don't know how you did this, but that was like, he painted it. Like he made, basically that's when I got my first job. He was like, you got to get a job and like, you'll buy the parts and then I'll just put it together type shit. And then like, I would go with him and do it. But that was like my first car. And then I only had it for like 4 or 5 months and then we flipped it. And I had a Civic after that. Like, that was my favorite car. I had a hatchback, teal, nice rims. Basically, we swapped it, so it was like, it wasn't automatic, but we turned it into a stick shift. Like, I love that car. I crashed the front. That's why we did that. But car shit. Exactly. I have so many car stories that I think about now. I'm like, because that's what he loved, and in my head, that's how I should like connect with him. It was like, I'll start liking cars. So like, I have like street racing story, like a whole bunch of like car stories, and I'm like, I forgot I did all this because I would never do it right now.
I got, it's funny, man. Like my youth car stories are funny. Like I had an old ass car. I think it was a Buick, old ass Buick, and I'm driving to school. My fucking sister plows into the back of me. My sister at a stoplight. I'm like, you fucking moron. and knowing our financial situation, like, I know we didn't have insurance, neither one of us. So
nothing happened. You just both fucked up.
Well, I got my back end of my car is like dented now. Yeah. I get out, I'm like, you fucking idiot, and I'm like, I'm yelling at my sister, and I'm like, she's like, I didn't see you. I was like, I'm sitting here in a giant Buick. What the fuck were you doing in your car?
Like that first reaction, like, because you probably were just sitting there. Then you get here, you're like, what the fuck? And then you're like, wait, my sister? What the fuck?
Right. I get out of the car, I look her dead in the eyes. I'm like, you fucking moron. What the fuck? How did they give you a license? Oh my God.
That's funny as hell.
Anyway. All right, so this was fun.
It was a good time.
It was a good time. A couple of things, and we're gonna wrap it up here. But obviously I've got the James Bond reaction out. So please, if you guys have not seen it, check it out. It's probably I want to say it has a lot of like jump cuts in there that I edited, like funny jokes and things. I'm trying to. I had a lot of fun with the recording, so that's why it's as zany as it is. But I'm trying to figure out what to watch this week because I don't have anything recorded yet. So that's kind of like I'm up in the air on that. But I'm having fun with the channel, man. Like the channel is another 300 plus subs, like since last week. And it just continues to grow. And I'm going to actually start cutting some of our podcasts, some of our BCon Rewinds and some of these, and start putting out shorts and stuff. So I'm having a lot of fun with the channel. I hope you guys are enjoying the stuff that's coming out. I mean, it's fun, but I think I got to get Birdie on here and you, because we had talked about doing those wrestling reactions. I just haven't had a chance to record. So we'll figure out some time this week. I'm having fun, man. The channel's growing. If you guys are enjoying the content, thank you for commenting. I think it's really like the comments that I'm getting are now more personal. Like, hey, I've watched you now for a couple of things here, and like some of the same different, the same people watching are commenting more often. So it's been a more intimate type of experience. I don't know, man. It's been fun.
That's dope, though. But again, like I keep telling you, like,
yeah,
you're putting in the work, bro. Like, you're only gonna keep getting these, and they're gonna come in like big spurts, and they're gonna come in like these like small spurts. But the thing that I like is like you're seeing the consistent growth, because I say every week, but like I watch your numbers every week. Like every day, I like look, like, especially when you drop a video, I'm like, oh, let me see the next day, like what it does and like what the comments are like and everything. So you're really the first, like, not the test dummy, but like the first one in battle right now for like Blackouts. And like I'm really like, it's dope watching it because you're really growing. And that's why I thought it was dope last week's episode, because like even though you weren't here, we still had a good episode. The chat was still fun. Like it's just again, the community we're building, I think, in all aspects of what we're doing. And it's dope to see. And we got the producer himself.
Yeah, he's saying what's up. But no, you know what I think, and this is what I think last week taught me, and we'll shut it down after this, is that I kept trying to pigeonhole this show as something, like, because it was on a movie related channel, it got to be about movies. It is a show about everything. It's about UFC. It's about, what's going on today. It's about, fun shit that we do. So I've kind of, when I watched your guys' show, and it was, a lot of UFC talk and stuff like that, which was great. But like the gist of the show was a couple of guys getting together, having a good time, conversating, and it was good. It was good. And so when the show performed as well as it did, and the way that the show went, I was like, okay. And we've been getting there, obviously, week to week.
We kind of always knew that, though. Like our best shows are like that.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's when I was like, okay, I now it sinks in. Like I'm not on the show, but the show still goes on and it still has success, and it's still exactly what we want it to be, which is, the Blackout crew doing their thing. So trust me, it continues to be cemented. But
I really think, like, with your stuff, and not to cut you off, but like I have like kind of thought about like after the show, because it was, I think I mentioned it multiple times. Like, how we are. Like me and you have these discussions off screen all the time, but when we do have these discussions, I'm like kind of like not coaching you, but like telling you what I see, and then you just put it in practice however you see fit. And that's what's dope from my perspective, because it's like I feel like I do help you in a lot of in terms of ideas, just like how to do certain things, and then you put it in practice. I'm like, oh, like you see his channel just grows, like you see like the little things that you might have done before that you don't do now. And I was always telling you, like, maybe you should have, like, what if you had like other personalities on here doing different things? Because I think like the Big Llama show itself could be like kind of bigger than just you itself, Like
yeah.
Same thing with Blackout. Like it could do the same thing. Like, I don't know.
No, for sure, man. Listen, that's what I'm saying. It hit me, and it was great that I was like, oh, okay, the show. It's when like you knew what it was. Like I know what the show is, but I was like, it's cemented. Like that makes sense. Like these guys are talking. the chat was there, the viewers were there, and even post-show airing, the views were coming in and people were watching it for a decent amount of time. So it's the formula that's working, and that's fine, and that's what I'm saying. So like I wanted to niche it into movies, and I was like, fuck, like I felt like I was like holding back a little bit. So I'm having a great time, so for sure.
Yeah,
so what's next? Are you streaming coming up, or what's
I don't know.
going
I'm
on?
about to eat for sure, but I might stream because I've been streaming the last couple of days. I mean, honestly, like streaming again, I'm just getting the itch again. Like I feel it. Like I don't have as much time because I'm working both jobs now, but like
Right.
now that I am like making conscious time to like yesterday I streamed for like almost 7 hours, like before and after the fight. So it was dope. I was just like, damn, I haven't had one of those streams in a long time, and like the reactions were good, the time was good. The games after, like we were playing ranked and we were just winning. So it was like I was watching today. I was like at dinner and I was like having a couple of drinks before the show, and I was watching the stream from the night, like trying to find clips. But I was just like, yeah, we were having a good time. Like I miss doing this all the time. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping to get more time and like get back into the grind of like how I was, but we're getting there.
No, yeah, for sure. All right, well, guys, listen, I want to thank everybody who joined us in the chat. Thank you, everyone who's participated in the show tonight. AD, as always, my co-host extraordinaire. Thank you for another awesome Sunday night live stream. After you eat, hit me up and see if I'm still on. And maybe we'll run some ranked lobbies.
Maybe we get Gabe on. He's probably sleeping. I bet.
Oh, but Gabe, if you're on,
I want to
hit me up, man.
I just want to see a 1v1 showdown.
Well,
this one didn't even have to be recorded. I just want to see it for my own eyes.
Okay, so Gabe is still on. I'll hit him up. We'll do a little fun stuff tonight.
Because think about the pro. I know you're trying to end the show, but think about the promo. Like,
oh yeah,
you're getting shitted on by my seed. Like, like I'm thinking box office with this one.
It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big, man. Because Gabe will provide plenty of fuel.
Oh man,
he was so hurt the other night. Anyway,
love to hear.
All right, well, listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I'm the Big Llama. He's BLKOUT AD. This is the Big Llama Show. Every Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you guys all next week. And Gabe, I see Gabe here. I got time for one game. Winner takes all. Gabe.
I'm about to eat on stream while watching this.
Gabe, let me after this, I will hit you up. We'll play a round or two here. All right, guys. Well, listen. Thank you for joining me, man. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out, everybody.